All right, so we do have our kind of again that lobby set up for you guys between these two teams. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Without the boomer here and just infinite boost, things are very slowed down here. I know we were watching the boomer together, and you guys were talking about how crazy it was, especially when they turned it to super bouncy mode. But we won't have any of that really. So as things are going to get going, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to leave it to you guys. Take it away.
I feel like there's as nice as he sounded there, Johnny, I think there was a little bit of almost like anger behind that face off. Oh, they get to go within 5 minutes. I had to sit here with Turtle talking about how eggs are trying to drive the cars or how they're balloons. Instead, we are just straight into it.
Yeah, nice quick start for us, but you know, only I'd say one aspect of this game is going to be slower than the other drop shot series that we saw earlier on today. Obviously with Boomer, high bouncy drop shot, it was the cars that were struggling to keep up, but now the ball is going to be much more in control because everybody's got unlimited boost. One of the difficult aspects to drop shot is that boost management. You can't feather it or else it just runs dry. You've got to let it recharge, but they don't need to worry about that now. They can just go crazy with it. We're expecting to see a lot of high ball. Oh, that really should have been damage though for United.
This is a game mode that really does suit the players that are very good at those air dribbles. Make it very difficult to go for challenges and whatnot. If Shireen does move in for the challenge, couldn't quite get anything, and there is our first major damage. Is going to be going for eUnited, who did lose earlier on to Team Envy in 3-0. We were asking then if we could see a little bit more aggression. I think with unlimited boost, you have zero excuse to not go full aggression.
Yeah, you've got to get stuck in there. And I think, you know, Envy are looking for a bit of a carry performance from the main roster players, Mist and Atomic. Obviously, they are very, very quick players in the air. But, you know, eUnited are no slouch, so it's not going to be an easy win. At all. And actually United have had a lot of pressure early on. This is a nice play though by Atomic to get some traction. But yeah, the roster for Envy are struggling with their double commits so far. That should clean up as we go on here.
That being said, the damage that Envy have got is in the perfect position. Right in the middle, so much space to work with. It was major damage as well. The other side, eUnited have got a lot of theirs a little bit tucked into the right-hand side that they're aiming for. Emery just making full use of it. Mist has at least got contact and still blue, meaning that there is no damage, but my goodness, Envy very lucky to not see anything happening on their side of the field. And I tell you, this 100 boost seems to have made a huge difference. This might actually be a one-goal game with what we're saying here. Oh,
yeah.
All right, that was a little close.
Yeah, it's much harder to, you know, let the ball run riot and get away from people, just doing loads of damage before it gets another touch onto it. It's much easier for the players to keep up with it, even than regular drop shot. Yeah, we're seeing lots of consecutive touches from the Team Envy players. Mist and Atomic are making it quite difficult for United to dictate the flow of the game, but United have been clinical with their touches, even though there's been less of them. Oh, that's a bit risky though.
I
wow,
wouldn't
that's
consider
clutch.
that one to be all that clinical. Mist will clear for them, as he is a very gentlemanly man.
You know, actually, that was genius. He managed to not take any damage. This should be a goal, though, surely. And it is. Atomic off the back of Mist's play. It is the two-man job for the most part, but Furian's doing well also. Everybody doing their part so far on Envy.
Damage right down the middle ended up being what helped them out. And despite the great start for United, they find themselves down by 1. Need to get this goal back nice and quickly because everything that Envy do from here on out is just an advantage to them. They will expect to concede at least once. Difference will be how much they can do to put themselves ahead of what could be the all-important next goal. Or maybe Envy can hold them off, but with touches like this. Oh, wow, Atomic got back in time. That was damage that Envy could have done with.
Yeah, that was really a big chance for United, but if Envy can get this ball down, that's huge for them, because like I said, they're expecting to concede the next goal, but if they can do a good bit of damage before that happens, then they're in a great position for the final few seconds of the game. That really should be damage for United, and it is. It's pretty devastating. That's a huge gap, but it's off the wall, and United are struggling to find that hole, despite how big it is.
Well, eUnited have still not taken any damage on their side of the field, despite the reset and despite how long it's been. They're in a good position to maybe reset the game. Completely even, and they've managed it. Incredible work from eUnited. They have set right all the wrongs.
Yeah, that's really big. You know, it didn't look like this was going to happen. They hadn't done tons of damage to the NV side, but they managed to keep that ball out of their half, at least while it was blue. They kept it out of their half for the entirety of that passage play. Then straight away into the next one, they do lose a little bit. This is about as clean of a reset as they're going to get. Absolutely even after that 1-1.
Go back. Next goal will likely be the winner. Atomic, that is massive. It's not quite the position you'd like it to be in. Very difficult to not get a very specific play in that corner, but he almost managed it. Took the putter out and tried to find the hole. Yeah, and Envy are running rough shot. Wow, my goodness, that's a shot that could be in.
Wow, so they do just keep putting the ball back in that awkward position. Like you said, it's a hard position to shoot at. But what a turn by Atomic. That is a beautiful strike. Just, you know, wrong foot in the entire eUnited squad.
16 seconds, you look across at the Team Envy side of the field. There is absolutely nothing to work with for eUnited. They are going to need to get some sort of double bounce down just to cause the damage twice and then get the ball in. And it is not looking like that is going to happen outside of a wonder play here from memory.
Yeah, impossible.
Nope, it's just going to drop. Team Envy, game 1.
And it's, you know, the downside to drop shot 0-second plays. If you don't have a hole in the ground to aim at, then the ball continues bouncing around, but you actually just can't even win. And neither team there had a hole actually to shoot at, so no matter how long it was kept in the air, there would not be another goal before this one was over.
They are all having a go at each other. Surprisingly, it's the eUnited boys that are just having a go at each other.
Ajax is getting roasted here.
I know.
It looks like eUnited are saying, give us
Although, to be fair, that points total.
Yeah.
198 score, 8 damage. That's basically 1 hit off an ultra damage.
Ultra damage is at most.
Ultra damage is a big one, isn't it? What's the second tier?
It depends what area you're in. So if you get an ultra damage in the middle of the floor, it will do 1 in the middle. And then it will also hit the 6 around that, and then it will hit every tile around that as well. So somebody needs to figure out for us how many tiles are around those 6 tiles. That's what you need to figure out. I've not done it myself, and yeah, it's a lot though. It's a lot of damage. There goes 7 if you get just not the first hit, but if you hit the I don't know what you call it before ultra damage, medium damage. If you have medium damage in the middle of the floor, you get 7 damage.
Small, medium, large. I prefer that. It's so much easier.
Somebody says 19. That sounds
I'm willing to go with it.
Sounds like a good number.
It's a number I wouldn't have gone with, so that's probably right. United trying to turn this one around. That's very nice positioning on the damage for Mist. Now, I did kind of criticize earlier on, and I feel like I'm actually almost wrong in a way about having the damage in the side. Yes, it's more difficult to work with it, but at the same time, once you have that hole opened up, it does force the rotation to respect where it is, and you can almost stretch the other side of the field because a lot of your opponents are already sat around there.
Yeah, I feel like against a very good team, it's better to get damage near the middle, but if you're against a team who aren't that familiar with drop shot and might end up chasing too much, then yeah, any damage is good damage, because like we saw there at the end of the game from Atomic, he can just turn the ball around and catch everybody off guard, as everybody from eUnited just ended up chasing the same direction. That's a bit of a missed jump there by Hawkser, as more of a hole gets opened up in their half. It's not looking good here for eUnited. They're the full roster team. They should be winning here, really, but Furin's just slotted in beautifully.
Oh, wow. Well, you asked for it, and Hawkser will deliver, but it is entirely off this from memory. That was vicious on the way down.
Really nice timing, though, by Hawkser as well. He's managed to just bounce that one, or hit that one as it comes back up, so it's already done the damage to the floor, opening it up, and then he can score it. Obviously, if he hits that into the floor himself, it might just bounce off to the side and not go in.
1-0, eUnited. They've got quite a bit of damage on their side of the field, and there was a much quicker goal than we saw last time, but there we go. Doing what Envy failed to do with their 1-goal lead in game number 1, and that is actually capitalize on it. Give themselves an assured advantage for the rest of this game. Might even add even more to it. Ajax can't recover in time. Atomic. Back over to Ajax, who might have just scored an own goal. Gets away with it, and will now try and put that pressure on. I do like the adaptations we're seeing, though. Both teams have very quickly realized that they need that ball near the wall to go for the air dribbles. It makes it so much easier. It's becoming very difficult to really approach either team as they're trying to set up. Instead, most teams just waiting at the bottom of the field, trying to see when the ball is going to come to them. Missed. Good flick past one. Might get it past Hoxer. It's equal to the challenge. Envy have exactly what they are after, though, and that hole has been made a little bit bigger for them as they look to try and chase to get up to 1 each.
I've just realized now that Hoxer's running with a Hoxter name. I wonder if he's done that, because this is always the name I mispronounce. Every time I'm trying to read Hoxer, my brain wants to put a T in there. Today he actually has one in there, unless my eyes have deceived me. So I'm off the hook for today every time I mispronounce his name. It's not as much of a blunder as it usually is. Nice shot here by Mist. It was coming. You know, this was a difficult position for United to be in. There's just holes everywhere that they look.
I mean, we've already seen in regular play just how difficult it is to escape into the midfield, especially when a team has got you locked down. Imagine how much harder it is when you've got all of those goals opened up and so many different positions that now you just can't go towards, because if you go there, you're done for. So everywhere that you would typically like to go to make the best route and the best approach to escape your side of the field is now not an option. United have very quickly, it seems like they've actually lost their lead entirely here.
Yeah.
The damage on the other side of the field is not that much. On the other side, Envy are just looking fantastic.
Yeah, Envy are doing fantastically here. Like you said, they have turned this one around completely. They were at a deficit in terms of damage. Now they've got actually more damage on the other side, and almost a goal as Mist just hits the post there, essentially. And in this entire reset, since we went back to the center circle, there has not been a single point of damage done to the Envy side of the court. It's been all orange as the floor is just turning that color and some. Oh, nice little team pinch there by Mist. Oh, just knocking it off target again. They are so close to making this 2-1.
Well, the goal is now almost as big as the one on Retropia. That thing is ridiculous. That's my favorite map. It is absolutely insane. That is going to go in. The Mist touch on the wall. Mist will secure his second. This has to go all down as a United blunder.
Yeah, Hoxer just trying to get a little pop onto that one, send it over the halfway line. But when he does miss, it's going to bounce into the huge hole on the ground. Now, to make matters worse, there is currently no hole in the half of Envy. So, first of all, before United can even think about coming back here, they need to make one. That might do it. Ajax knocks it on, but it bounces up. And it's a disaster again for United.
I've just realized Envy scored that second goal taking 0 damage.
Yeah, nothing.
They perfected them on the way to do that. And they might add even one more to the list. My
Is there
goodness.
even a hole? That is just no
nothing.
goal. There's nothing for United to aim at. It doesn't matter how long the ball stays up here. There's no goal for them to score into. Envy have denied them all the damage since the reset at 1-1. And even before that as well, they have done such a good job. I mean, there you go. That's
taunting, the way that looks.
That's the annoying part of this as your second play for United is that, yeah, you can hit that big juicy blue section of the floor, but you're not going to get a goal out of it.
Wow. Team Envy again, just step it up. Oh, taking shots at each other. I appreciate this from Ajax, considering he out-damaged his entire team put together and doubled. It's, you know what, I'd be asking for my teammates to step up as well.
Missed, is it? Why for team chat? That's pretty funny. Yeah, United looking a bit embarrassing on and off the field here. Trying to throw the blame on each other. Obviously, they are, having some fun with this. They just want to try and tilt each other, I guess, even though they're on the same team.
Apparently, they're not in a call with each other. That would certainly be an interesting way of going about it. My goodness. This has been fantastic. I have loved this tournament so far, and thankfully we have got a whole week of it.
Okay, I wanted to see more chat there, so I wasn't readying up. Then at the end there, when I did ready up, it didn't actually light my name up green, and I was worried that the lobby had crashed again. But no, we're good. We're into the next game.
Would have been all your fault, Johnny.
It would have. I mean, sometimes the lobby does crash when somebody doesn't ready up. But yeah, even when I readied up here late, my name didn't turn green. I was panicking. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you got away with it. Unfortunately for eUnited, they've got away with absolutely nothing. Envy have been all over them. They're so strong in game 2. Despite eUnited taking the lead, and that's the worst part. eUnited have had moments where they look really clean, but it just drops the moment Envy lock them in their side of the field. Drop shot is a notoriously difficult game mode to get out of the defensive side for. Especially when you've got unlimited boost. There is nothing to call Envy off. There is no, oh hey, we've stolen our own corner boost. They'll have to back down now. It's just, hey, we've got 100 boost. Cool. I'ma just turn.
What a save there by Fury. And he is absolutely stepping up here. At the start of game 1, it looked like Mist and Atomic were running the show, but it's been a full, team effort since then. Oh, just I say that, he totally misses the ball. That's it, hit the floor. I should really stop complimenting players as they very often just make a big mistake as soon as I do.
Oh, Johnny boy, you're so negative about all the players. No, he's doing it for their betterment.
Yeah, it's for the best.
They should be thanking him.
Trust me. If I say something nice about your favorite player, he's probably gonna miss the ball in his next play. So I'm just gonna keep on being harsh. Seems to bring the best out of people.
Atomic and Mist, both over in the corner. They do still win it. Just having a look at the... I feel like there's 2 matches going on at the moment. Team Envy versus eUnited, and Ajax versus the rest of his team. Unfortunately for him, he is the only player on the field with no damage.
Yeah, that's actually what's going on here, isn't it? Is eUnited are not trying to win this game. They're trying to out-damage each other. They just want to be on top of the scoreboard. And just like in regular Rocket League, if you've got someone in your team who all they care about is getting to the top of the scoreboard, it's probably not going to be very fun to play with them. And that's, probably why they're losing this series 2-0.
Oh, he's up to 6.
A decent position here. This is going reasonably well for them. So far, at least.
We've seen them start well. It's just been the second half of the games that have really let them down.
Yeah.
Do need to get themselves a reverse sweep, which would be absolutely insane, given the rule set, as Memory is going to get huge damage. Didn't quite have the accuracy to turn it in. But for eUnited, who do go on quite long droughts without damage and without shots, it's been much better from them into the midfield. Ajax, that's very loose. Durain can take over. It's back down again. Mist, couldn't get there on time. And look at that blue side of the field suddenly lit up.
Yeah, still no goal though, so it's got to be frustrating for United. Unable to get that final touch on target. That might be bouncing close. It's not going to bounce down before ultra damage though. Good pre-jump save. United doing a reasonable job here. Oh, that just touched down inside the orange half though. They were keeping this well out for a while. And now both teams have got huge goals to defend.
This is looking very interesting indeed. Mist over to Atomic. Couldn't get there quick enough. Duran gets double touch. She's going to have to keep carrying this. Thankfully for him, there's not many shooting angles for United. There is that big one there right in the middle. And my goodness, Envy having a very difficult time getting rid of this. Back into the midfield. Ajax will leave it for Memory. Up onto the wall. Wants to try and just force the challenge. Maybe he can get the orange trail on the way out. Hawks are up. Can't beat Mist. Mist looking to keep it going. Good stop from Ajax.
And that's a bonus of unlimited boost. You can just jump up and keep flying. So really no way Mist could be stopped there. Envy have done a good job taking the ball around the back of their half though. But that one got away from them. Mist just losing control. They are hanging on. but that is about all you can say for them right now. There's so much damage to their half. There's honestly more of a gap than there is solid floor, and it's getting that way on the eUnited side as well.
We're getting to the point as well where it's only 40 seconds left. Whoever gets the goal, if they can get the goal in regular time, will have to scramble defend.
Yeah, just a kickoff goal is going to follow.
And there's plenty of ways to aim for it as well. It's just a case of winning it over the top. Passed over to Mist, couldn't get there on time, it's not on target. Ajax couldn't dump the ball down. Now transition, Mist almost got the hit. It was actually his teammate that ends up stopping it. Maybe a chance for redemption. Instead, it's over to the side. Mist all by himself. He keeps it out. He's got a demo. He looks to take out Ajax as well. Couldn't quite get a hold of him. Already up. Shot is going to be for a little bit more damage. 10 more seconds left. And it's in! eUnited have got their goal. Now just got to hold off.
Oh, it was so close. Envy were holding on. There was some heroic defense there by Mist, but then as he came back around to try again, he missed the ball. So it's, you know, two types of mist you get in this game. That was not the good one, but they've got a big goal to aim at, and there is a good chance that they can find it on this 0-second play.
Tomek is going to look to take it all by himself. Oh, dearie me. Right on the halfway line. eUnited have taken it, and they were definitely the better team in this one. But my goodness, Johnny, that was so much fun.
Wow. That was tense. That was absolutely insane.
Dude, I'm chuffed over here. It is.
What a game.
I think that's the first time I've been able to full cast a game of Drop Shot.
I know, well, this is one of the few times today that the game is castable because the teams haven't picked cards that just turn into absolute chaos. But yeah, it's really entertaining watching high-level drop shot when you know teams are hanging on, when there's a huge goal in their half, but they somehow manage to keep the ball away from it. And Envy, for most of this game, had to do that very, very well because eUnited did a lot more damage than Envy did. But Envy were just holding on.
That is the great thing about drop shot as well, is the way it plays. 2-1 is the 2-1 or 1-0 is the typical scorelines. More usually 2-1. It's very difficult for a team to pull so far away that the comeback is impossible. I think the ones that we got in game 1 and 2 were so rare that we've got a team that's behind that also has no way of shooting to get a goal.
Yeah, that was just you know, pinpoint defense from Envy and just dominating every single play at the end of game 2 to deny all the damage from their opponents. But eUnited in this last game, they were just more careful, I think. They didn't push the issue too far. Even though it was a long time that they went without scoring into a massive goal, they were just staying calm. They made sure to, you know, prioritize defense, as you always should in drop shot.
2-1 in the series. Very good from eUnited in the last one, and they have been on point in terms of where they want to go, but Mist reads it perfectly. Might go for the double tap, and he's got it. Fantastic from Mist, and they're going to keep that onslaught on.
Oh, wow.
What a touch. Atomic has opened up a goal-scoring opportunity. That's the other side of the field. Wasn't quite able to get contact for Ajax to turn that into orange damage. And this is what I like. Both teams, you can tell when they were coming into this, not quite familiar with how drop shot is supposed to be played, but as we saw earlier on, even with the boomer stuff, they figure it out real quick.
Yeah, there's a reason these guys are at the highest level in Rocket League. It's because they can look at what happens and analyze it on the fly, come up with a solution and what to do more effectively the next time. Nice little turnaround here by Atomic again, just sneak it in there and poking the ball into that, you know, relatively large hole in the ground. Yeah, Envy still look like the better team overall in this series, but eUnited are fighting. They're trying to keep this as close as possible.
Actually got a decent little gap to work with. Instead, they put it right over onto the player. It was well defended, but you get the feeling that he shouldn't have even had a chance.
Yeah, drop shot really changes up the way that you 50-50 the ball. Usually you're trying to be, you know, maybe a bit high on the challenge to go over the top of your opponent, who might be flicking it or going for a shot past you. Whereas drop shot, it's all about just getting dead underneath that ball. Do not let it touch your floor at the other half of the field. Then when you're obviously attacking, it's a complete role reversal. Now you're going back to dunk mode. So definitely a big change there in terms of how you play the ball compared to regular Rocket League. That plus the boost management that you get in regular drop shot. Those are the two biggest things for me. But that boost management of this one, not really a thing with unlimited boost being available.
See as well, just depending on where you want to go on the field for your damage, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Everyone is rotating through the middle most of the time. So that area is the hardest, but also the most coveted damage, as I cannot believe they've got away with that, and they've been punished. Envy, I'm going to be screaming.
That looked like it was guaranteed damage for Envy. But somehow the ball did one of those little baby bounces, and it didn't actually hit the floor hard enough, so no damage was done. That would have opened up a big gap on the eUnited floor. Instead, it is eUnited with the equalizer. We might be heading to a game 5 here. This is trending in eUnited's favor.
Certainly might be. They are still down though by a little bit of damage. Nothing too bad just yet. Could change real quick as Atomic waiting for his opportunity. He's got the pop, and you can see just how quickly Ajax does not want to see any Atomic air dribbles. Still, the damage is done. Atomic sticking around, looks to read it, and it is both players done. Envy, still the only team with damage though, and they are quickly opening up gaps to take shots on.
Yeah, Envy have a couple of holes in the floor that they can aim at. They're both extremely small, I think 3 tiles in total. We saw some accurate snipes earlier on in the NRG series. That is going to do it. Miss just stops it dead. And dropping in an oops as well is Furin. Yeah, that's not the clear that you're looking for, Memory.
It's just Atomic, man. He's causing so much hassle that he is the only thing they're worried about, let alone just dropping it right into another player. He demands so much of your respect whenever he's on the field. Unfortunately, when you give it to him, it means that you're not giving it to the 2 other players who are equally as deadly.
I wonder why Turbo did decide to take the back seat on this one. I know Turbo's in the Twitch chat watching. Maybe he can give some insight to us here. Letting Furin come out and take the plaudits. But they've looked in control throughout this. Even the one game that United were able to win, they scraped it. It was extremely close. And Envy have been the better team in the other games by a fair margin.
Certainly have been. Not too much to work with, and even if we do see eUnited get this back, look at the damage on their side of the field. This is an uphill battle if there ever has been one.
There's a hole though. They've got a chance.
They do, but they've got not much time, and then even then they've got to work from a disadvantaged position in the overtime. Mist looks to try and make that life even more difficult, and he has done so. Clears to his side of the field, and not where they want to be seeing that. Here's the exact position of where that damage is. Follow up from Ajax. He wins the challenge. Up by Memory. Good block and even more damage. Almost turned in. eUnited challenging each other. Over to the corner. Hoxer has one. He's going to be quick enough. Him and Memory are both together. Looks to play straight down, but Hoxer's position and his shot was not strong enough. It's going to be bouncing all over the place. They have got to turn it in to that one gap, and they cannot do so.
That was tense at the end here, but it wasn't enough. Memory's out of here. Not happy with the result as they dip down to the lower bracket. Envy beating eUnited in the main event and also in the wheel and deal. Turbo, by the way, giving us some insight there. He just doesn't like drop shot, it would seem. I mean, after seeing this series, I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat thinking, man, I need to give drop shot a go. This looks really fun. You get to, aim at a much larger goal. It's harder to miss in drop shot because the goal is literally half of the floor. So how can you miss that? Even if you're in bronze, you're probably gonna have a good chance of hitting that.
I can tell you right now, if you can get like 6 mates together and you just want to play, just casual drop shot but full comms, that is so much fun. Honestly, go ahead with it. It is ridiculous. And obviously all the time as well. It's such close games. But we are going to be bringing back in our lad, Dazarin. How you doing, matey?
Man, I feel like queuing up some drop shot after that one.
I knew that was going to be the case. I told you.
That looked like it was a lot of fun. Maybe we might have to get a queue offline. But obviously, it was a good series. Big shout outs to Envy. They do take the drop shot matchup, so going for them. But it was definitely interesting to see. Overall, I did Yeah, like this is what I love about the Summer Shuffle is you get to see these teams play these different game modes, and some people they don't play game modes like Drop Shot or anything like that after a long time of after that initial launch. So it's kind of good to be reminded of just how interesting these games are to both play in and watch. So I'm definitely glad to see that as things are concluding for the day. Speaking of things concluding, let's take a look at our current standings for today and see just where we ended up. I'm very, very interested once we get the magic flowing. I'm channeling it. I'm channeling the graphic. How long is he going to sit here and let me channel it?
Oh.
Please.
We could just
Channel
tell
it.
you.
No,
no,
okay, we just got bigger dazzling.
There we go.
Where did you get these powers?
We needed to zoom in first before the channel was in full flow.
Oh man, and as you can see, this is the matches we had earlier today with the NRG 3-0 sweep over Omelet, and then G2 losing out in 5 games against Rogue. So this is by the way the main event. If you guys are a little confused, is the main event one for Group A. Looking at Group A, this is pretty expected except for the G2 one. What do you guys think about that result?
I think G2. Towards the end of that series, they looked like they had a bit more of a handle on that matchup. Even though Rogue were the team who came out in full swing in the last game, G2 were coming back, and they should have equalized late had JNups not pre-jumped for no reason on an open net. They would have sent that in overtime, and they had all the momentum on their side. So I think that they're going to be fine in the lower bracket, probably squeeze through against whoever loses against the NRG Rogue series.
Okay, and let's again take a look at our schedule for tomorrow. I'm not going to do any channeling here. If it's not up, that is not on me. All right, there we go. Boom, bada boom. Our schedule for tomorrow, first game of the day, NRG versus Rogue. Right after, it'll be Space Station Gaming taking on Team Envy. So some very hype matches. Then we move down into the lower bracket with Omelet versus G2 and Plot Twist taking on eUnited. Shogun, any particular match of the day based on what we see?
I think there's not going to be any surprise to the one I'm picking out here. Space Station Gaming against Team Envy. That is going to be an absolute banger of a series.
Yeah, you can see the standings here as Group B had also developed, and Space Station Gaming and Envy 3-0 sweeps to get to this point. Johnny, looking at that particular matchup, how are you feeling just seeing it on paper?
I think Space Station are the favorites based on how clean their win was, but Envy should be just fine. It doesn't really matter who comes through that lower bracket to face them, or to face Space Station if Space Station make the dip down to the lower finals. I think that Space Station Envy are a good few leagues, good few gears ahead of Plot Twist and eUnited at the moment.
Okay, so we have the table getting prepared, and it'll be ready by tomorrow, and you won't want to miss that. But I mean, it's been a lot of crazy games today, both in main event and in wheel and deal, and it just doesn't stop here. The shuffle continues to go on. We're gonna take a quick break and shuffle into some Mafia action. It's coming up next. You won't want to miss it here on the Summer Shuffle.